Alright, so floor 2 of Stab Tower. This is the hardest floor 2 in any tower, but even at level 70, you should still be fine with this team if you have the right gear. I do recommend, if you're having trouble with this with these characters, to wait for some more XP instead, now that we have level 80. Miu will obviously be better than Cordelia if you have her. Yuna as well, if you pull Yuna today, will be a better attacker, so those characters will really help. Other than that, this is kind of the setup I recommend. You can go Liddy over Maru, however Maru's speed is very important here. As long as you can get your healer to 257 to 259 speed, which with Maru is pretty easy with just item charge Memoria and an 8 speed accessory, then you're fine. You basically want your healer to go in between the two AoEs at the start. That's kind of the most important thing with this team setup. Other than that, Marion just needs enough stun damage to kill the knight. Linka needs enhanced resistance traits to help tank everything. And I do have, for Marion and Cordelia, I have all target attack resist on each of them. I have one copy of it. Yeah, all target attack resist. So this helps them survive. They're very squishy at 2-star. At a higher level or at 3-star, you potentially don't need the all target attack resist. So, but at 2-star level 70, you kind of do. They can absolutely die. So let's just go in here. And the basic strategy for this floor is I will be looking for a burst on Marion here. So, okay, this is, I think, the combination of her and Cordelia can stun the armor. Let me just double check. I will need to change gear if that's not the case. Yeah, perfect. Alright. Alright, so yeah, we are just looking for a burst on Marion here. It looks like we got it, so that's good. Just do the first few attacks on the armor. And one thing that's very important is that you don't get blue panels on this golem or this jelly. If you do, the run is dead. They will basically kill you. The red panel is really nice. It's not necessary, but it does help if you can get it, but I wouldn't reset for it. It doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, the reason why you want Maru's speed at that specific value is so that after that AoE, you can heal up for the next one, right? So she goes in between them, she's able to heal everyone up. And if this next one wasn't a red panel, it would do a lot more damage, because we don't have Linka's buff there. Anyways, you can see with the timeline we have here, we got the burst on Marion, and we also have this burst down here, which actually is one panel too late, I believe. There's no way to get that on Valeria. So I believe this is a reset, but we are looking for this burst to be able to get on Valeria. Unfortunately, after stunning the jellyfish, Valeria will be here, and the burst will still be here, so even using items, we can't get it. So this will be a reset. Because we are looking for a timeline, we're looking for 2 specific burst panels on our timeline here, so. It is what it is. A little annoying that we have to go that far, but this floor is quite hard, especially with a team like this. And this is just kind of the best way to go about it, so. Hopefully this doesn't take too many resets. Alright, so this one will be perfect. The burst on Maru works here, because it will be on Valeria after the jellyfish gets stunned. But yeah, see how much damage that does? Like, especially to Marion and Cordelia, they take a lot more. if they didn't have the all target attack resist, they would be very low on HP. So we do want to attack the armor here. Hopefully this crits, but the crit rate on this is only 25%, so if it doesn't, that's fine. But the crit is very nice. It just helps Cordelia do enough damage to get rid of the armor. And burst. We want to burst the jellyfish. Marion should have enough stun damage to stun the jellyfish with her burst, even with some pretty bad gear. So. Make sure the jellyfish is stunned. Then, once again, Cordelia is going to attack the armor so that we can get rid of the armor. Doesn't really matter what Linka does as long as you use her skill 2. And Meru will heal once again because we do have these coming up. These Golem AoEs, so we do want to be at full HP for those. And we're just going to use items here. We have 3 Draken Elixirs. I do have critical finish on all of them, so 8% critical finish on all of them. I actually have 10 on some, but as much critical finish as you can get on SSR Draken Elixirs. With the ones I have right now, the critical chance of Valeria's burst will be 78%, I believe. It's 50% by default. Then we have like another 28 from the Draken Elixirs. And we do need a crit here. We do need a crit here to kill the jellyfish. Also, one thing that's a little bit important is you do need to make sure that Valeria has the highest magic attack in the team for the Draken Elixirs to work. This isn't really a problem with the other physical characters, they won't pass her. However, Meru can. I specifically do have a physical attack weapon on Meru so that her magic attack is not higher than Valeria's. If it is, she would steal the Draken Elixirs. So you do just want to be aware of that. Anyways, we have about an 80% crit chance. As you can see, if the crit happens, it will absolutely die. If it doesn't, you'll need to do more resets. Which is fine. This floor is quite hard. Expect to reset quite a bit if luck doesn't go your way. One thing that is a little bit annoying is we do have a blue panel here. But thankfully, because of the gear that we have on these, everyone does live. And it doesn't really matter which one you target first. It looks like A is attacking more, so we do want A stunned. You can see down here that B is using support. And burst panels on these little golems aren't bad because it makes them do recovery instead of attacking. So it is okay if you see burst panels on them. It's not a big deal. But ideally you do want the burst panels on your own characters. So that you can do more damage and whatever. Cordelia's damage is pretty weak. If you do have a better attacker in place of her, that is ideal. Although it does help somewhat that she is so fast. And basically the rest of this is hoping that you don't get so unlucky with panels that you die. That is about the entirety of the rest of this fight. So hopefully this goes okay. This blue panel here is really scary. Marion might die. Marion died. This is still winnable even with Marion dead. Oh, it's not winnable like this, unfortunately. Yeah. This can just sort of happen here. It's pretty annoying. There's not much you can do about it. We don't have crit chance. Lots of blue panels on the enemies, so just sort of have to reset till the panels go your way. And let's just do a few more attempts because we are absolutely dead. Looking back, it would have been better there to not stun one of them. The turns would have worked out much nicer. So, but it is what it is. Maybe this time will go a bit better. And it should be a good show of how consistent the early part is. So yeah, we have this burst panel on Valeria. This is actually the ideal scenario to get the second burst on Valeria, because it means Marion can use the items, which you absolutely do want to do if you can. Maybe we do need to reset for the crit on the armor, thinking about it. Which, that's a little bit annoying if you do have to do that. To have enough damage, at least with the Cordelia setup. Cordelia's damage is just a little weak. We will see how much damage we take after the jellyfish dies. Assuming we actually get the crit. Yeah, combined with the red panel and Cordelia and a whole bunch of other things, the armor's not going to be dead, so that's pretty problematic. Yeah, if the armor lives there, it is quite a problem. So I think we probably do need the crit on Valeria. But thankfully, the required timeline isn't too hard to get, which is really nice. We do have a blue panel on the golem here. I guess we'll see if this one's fine or not. Okay, that seems fine. Is one of these enemies gonna have a blue panel after the burst? Yes, one of the golems will. It'll be red-blue. Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like we don't have quite enough damage. If you can get rid of the area of resist on Marion and Cordelia, you do get a lot more damage on the armor, and it does definitely help. You don't need to reset for the crit, but the crit chance is still 25%. It's fine to do this. If you can get more damage, of course you don't need to reset quite as much. I'm kind of learning this while recording it, so sorry if it's a little a little scuffed. I felt like it would be good this time to show my process of like learning and clearing something, especially on a floor this hard. This one's one of the more difficult early floors. This won't work because there's a red panel after the burst. Wait, no, this one will work fine because we can use items, right? Yeah, this one will work fine. The main problem is that blue panel there is going to get us killed because the armor won't die to Cordelia. Right, if the burst is on Valeria, we use items on Marion. If the burst is on Maru, you have to wait till Valeria's turn to use items, and then it gets all sort of screwed up, so. Just a little awkward. No burst early this time, so we reset. I believe I saw a red panel down there. It can really help your reset times if you're really focusing on the timeline before the first turn. Didn't quite see anything. Yeah, nothing. Alright. Red panel on Valeria probably isn't gonna work to get the armor down, and we didn't get the burst on Marion anyways. Sometimes you do get long dry streaks without the timeline you need, but it's not particularly uncommon, so yeah, there we go. Alright. One thing that's a little awkward about this floor as well, there's kind of a question like, should you bring Linka or should you bring Lent? Because Linka protects your party from magic damage, and Lent protects your party from physical damage. This floor is fairly split. You can see that this fire tornado is magic damage, and we're getting protected from that on turn 1. That's kind of the reason Linka's here, because of that specific skill. And then Maru can heal up, and then we're healed up for the Golem, which also does magic damage here, Lightning Cut. However, it feels like later in the fight... Oh, this isn't gonna work. That's quite unfortunate. This burst doesn't usually show up so late, but sometimes. If it's past Val here, it won't work, so we do have to reset. But yeah, what I was saying is, later in the floor, when you just have like golems left, they start using a lot of physical attacks, so maybe Lent is better in that case, right? But you could go either way, Lent or Linka. I do prefer Linka here, I think, because of her speed and because of that first ability. Also, I'm curious, how much HP do these have? 114? 1? Yeah, you definitely kill the armor first. Okay, we got the burst. Slightly annoying that there's this red panel on Cordelia, however we may be able to fix it depending on where the second burst panel lands, which would be pretty nice. Well, yeah, we did get the burst on Valeria here, so Marion will be able to use items. Just gotta hope to finally hit this crit on the armor, which we've been missing for a while. It did not hit. Alright. Let us retry. Yeah, it's just a little frustrating when trying to do it with these characters. That's kind of how weak they are damage-wise, especially if you don't have literally perfect gear. You have characters like Mew, like Yuna, Valentine's Eska if you want to wait a little bit, or even just level 80. All of these things help a ton in clearing this, because otherwise the damage requirements are quite strict due to the enemy damage output being so high on this floor. It is absolutely one of the harder floors in the early towers, so... Alright, Val. This is like the 5th time. Please crit. Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, this is just kind of what you have to go through in Affinity Tower. But I do hope you have better luck than me clearing this, or hopefully better characters. This is obviously quite budget as far as teams go for Tower. We don't have a single 3-star on the team. Though Stab Tower is kind of like that in general until because the only 3-star in Stab right now is Mew, so Liddy for sure helps a lot with the damage requirement as well. Liddy over Maru, because you don't quite need the amount of healing that Maru gives. It's a little overkill. Because usually what you die to in here is taking too many AoEs in a row, not being fully healed, so. Heck, where is my burst? I think I saw it. Did I? No, I'm crazy. I was hoping this wouldn't take so long, but it is a very good illustration of like what you should expect when trying to clear this content. I do make these guides, you know, so that hopefully just about anyone with an endgame account can tackle this content. You will probably need to go out of your way to make a bit of gear, but if you have an endgame account, you should be able to put this together. And it's good. I think this is a good illustration of like, while the team does work, it's not going to be consistent. You'll need to reset for quite a while. It is simply just hard content. Okay, so there can't be a burst there, which means I think we lose. Cool. So yeah, don't feel bad if it like takes you a while to clear this, even with the team. That's just sort of the way this goes. Alright. Once again, we have the burst on Marion. And once again, we did not get the second burst. It does need to be on Valeria there. If it's any later, then the strategy will not work. I wonder if there is a way to fix it by using skill 1 on Valeria. I don't believe so. Even if you... No, it shouldn't work. Alright, we don't have the burst on Marion. Kind of spacing out while talking. That was a red panel, I believe. It can be pretty hard to catch the couple frames of what that panel's gonna be before the armor uses its skill. That was a burst. But, you know, training your eyes, being able to catch that really does speed up the rate at which you can do resets, which is pretty important to not suffering in here, I think. Knowing how quick, like, being able to reset quicker and the sooner you know that you have to reset really helps cut down on the time it takes to get runs going. Alright.
敵ね。さあさあ急ぐわよ。もうちょっとは落ち着きなさいよ。なんてことないわよ。困ったわね。敵ね。さあさあ急ぐわよ。
Alright, I'm feeling good about this next burst. Next time we get a burst on Marion will be the run. Yep. Right here, let's go.
困ったわね。行くわよ。軽く蹴散らしてやるわ。そこね。
We're gonna get the right bursts, and Valeria's gonna crit this time, and it's just going to be nice. Alright, please no red panel after this. Good. So the burst on Meru, like I said earlier, it's not quite ideal. It means we do need to wait until Valeria's turn. Nice. To use items. We would rather use items earlier if we can, so that they're up sooner, but this is just sort of what you have to deal with. But we are in a prime position here with this run. We will have, I guess it's going to be red and blue on the golems, which is a little annoying. We would rather have the blue first as well because of Linka's skill 2. But that's fine. We will be able to survive this as long as the jellyfish dies. With the 80% crit chance, it's very likely that the jelly dies, but you never know. It might miss. There's a chance, right? We've been unlucky thus far. Let's just be unlucky again. Perfect. Alright. I will not make the same mistake this time of stunning A. We do kind of want to just keep this as is. No real reason to use the burst on Meru here. We need the healing. And hopefully everyone's able to live. We will see. Valeria might be in trouble. If Valeria dies, that's a pretty big problem. But hopefully the red panel is enough. Yeah. Perfect. That looks like a good stun to me. Puts it straight onto a red panel. And we'll just let B use its support ability. It's probably would have been better to split the damage earlier. Just because of the heal. Now, ideally here you want to at some point be able to get a burst on Valeria if possible. It looks like we can after stunning B here, so that's good. And because of that red panel on Valeria, you do want to use the items before her turn. So we'll just use the items here. So the red panel gets shifted to Meru, and the burst gets shifted to Valeria.
これを使うわ。助かったわ。それすっごくありがとう。こちらを使います。
And we do want to make sure to kill one of them. So I think just to be safe, we're going to Cordelia burst here. Actually, I wonder how much... Yeah, we just want to be safe. As long as there's only one alive, like, we should be fine, right? So we should be able to kill either one once it is Valeria's turn. Looks like leaving B has more HP. This one will give us the better timeline. Yeah, let's go with killing. Well, no, we can stun A. It doesn't really matter which one I kill here. B has more HP, so let's go with that one. Thankfully, we don't need crits anymore with the Dragon Elixirs, because Val does do enough damage on her own to one-shot it. So I probably should have hit A with Cordelia. I forgot the heal and death. That's my bad. I guess it didn't matter which one I hit in that case. Whoops. I was thinking about it too deep. It is going to recover here. As well, because it does have the burst panel. But with only one alive and with our entire party, we should have no problem sustaining HP against it. As you can see, even I am making, like, overthinking things, potentially making mistakes, and whatever else. Let's just not stun it here, so that it does this attack with a red panel. And then we're in perfect position for everyone to hit it. And this is what I kind of mean about the golems being scary. It's more about taking multiple attacks in a row than it is about being healed up. I think here, so Cordelia would go in front of it, but it puts the burst on the golem, so we won't take damage. Ideally, you really don't want to take multiple hits from these things if you can avoid it. Something like this should work out just fine, because Marion will be able to stun it with her burst. If you do have to take multiple hits in a row, make sure there's a red panel in there somewhere. Because yeah, see how much damage that did? Really, really, really rude. No burst on Belt. Or no crit, sorry. Yeah, this still gets really dicey. They start taking so many turns. Because when you stun it here, it still gets another turn. Thankfully, you know, the red panel kind of canceled out the blue panel, so we're fine. And it is dead. So yeah, you may need a few attempts at the ending here. It does get really dicey with these golems, but it is totally doable. It's just really rough. If you don't want to reset quite as much, I do recommend getting experience and going to level 75 or even 80 before you attempt this. It does make it a lot easier. Your character's just being tankier and doing more damage, but it is doable at 70 if you want to force it right away. But you will be be able to get to level 80 after finishing chapter 8, which just came out, so, you know, up to you. Anyways, that is floor 2. I hope you liked this format, where I'm just sort of talking, I guess, about like what I'm doing and my strategy. Let me know if you thought it was helpful. I know this is going to be on the VOD channel, so not that many people will be watching it, but that's fine, right? Actually, should I put it on the VOD channel? Maybe I'll put it on the main channel. This floor is hard enough. I don't know. Let me just go through the gear real quick one more time. So we do have Meru with all recovery boost, all recovery boost, all recovery boost. Importantly, she's using a physical attack weapon, so she has lower magic attack than Valeria, and her speed is 257. Then we have Marion at 2-star with all target attack resist on a steel bow, and then biz stun damage on a hard coat and biz stun damage on a bell. Not particularly good gear. And then she's also using the continuation of that summer Memoria, so very important there. Then we have Cordelia. Cordelia has the Destined by the Stars Memoria. This one's also free. Everyone should have it. Oh right, Meru had item charge Memoria as well, which just helps for getting items up quicker, but it may not be necessary. It's actually not necessary, but I just like it. And then she has skill power 9 on a Fizz weapon, skill power 9 on a random armor, and then all target attack resistance on an angel ribbon. So that should be good enough gear for her. Linka just has the Sophie 2 and a Phantom World Memoria at rank 1. Very good defensive stats, and she has enough speed that the low speed on it doesn't matter. And as far as her gear goes, it's once again enhanced physical magic resistance up. I have 4, 4, 5. The other traits don't matter. 5, 5, 5 probably helps. You could probably replace her with Lent. I don't know which one is better, but Linka works fine. She's better for being tanky early on. And then Valeria, we have an average of skill power 9 on all of her gear. Once again, I'm using this 10 and this 8 for 9, 9, and then 9. And none of these really do anything. It's Ice Affinity, Fire Affinity, and then this one, while she's 70% HP or higher, is good. The Hero Sword is just a good generic weapon in general, so. And on top of that, we do have a 31% physical attack Memoria for her, so. If you don't have this, just get some more levels. Honestly, the damage is a little bit tight even with this. Or if you have like better skill power gear, that's great. But yeah, that'll be all for this one. I hope it helped, and I hope you all can get your Atelier Fest tickets. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.